I wonder what I'm going to do today. I think I might make a video. I think that's a good idea. It's kind of gray looking outside, but I wonder if it's going to rain. Let's see here. Cloud, cloud, cloud. Oh, looks like no rain in the forecast. Let's go outside and check. Wait a minute. Are you serious right now? That looks like water falling right off of the roof there. Come on, really? Hey everybody, how's it going? We're out here having a little early morning pipe. It's before noon, so it's early for me. It's drizzling. It's raining, as you could see in my intro. I discovered it's raining, so I'm just out here having a little puff, waiting for it to stop so I can make a run to the store and get some things that I need. Yeah. But anyhow, how's everybody been this last week? I know I got a late start to my upload. My last video was late. I had a lot of things going on, as you probably could tell. I had we had friends over from England that were spending the weekend with us because, well, it's my birthday, and they originally had set aside the time for the camp out. Yeah. Well, we know the camp out didn't happen because, well, we've had more rain than we could possibly ever imagine, and there was too much snow up in the Crystal Lake area, so it's now melting off, but it's still plenty. There's still plenty of snow up there. It's ridiculous. But we went up there on Sunday. You saw the the video for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and we took a look up there, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It was a beautiful day to be up in the snow, and it was actually in the high 60s, low 70s up there. So it was. I saw a lot of snow melting. There was a lot of little streams in the parking lot, and it was definitely making its way down the mountain. So with that being said, the snow should be, if that continues, if those warm days continue on, then we will most likely be able to go camping at some point in the summer, after everything's all dried up and all the floods happen and when everything calms down again, right? But the lake will be very high. Higher than it's been in decades. Absolutely. Oh yeah. So yeah, I had a good birthday. Last Thursday I uploaded, well, I didn't upload a video. I made the video, but then as soon as I made it, I got busy with other stuff. I had to go back to AAA and pay for my registration on the 40. And then I had to go to the store and I had to do laundry and clean up a little bit before our guests arrived, but and then, of course, Friday came, and we were busy. We went to some thrift stores, antique stores, and all that stuff. And, it was we spent the evening at my friend Eddie's place. He hosted a little birthday thing for me. That was a lot of fun. Had some good friends over, and we had a great time. And then Saturday, we got up, had breakfast, then got out the door and went to more antique stores. And then landed in Yucaipa at my friend Josh's house. And had a really nice time out there. He hosted a little thing, and we barbecued steaks and just hung out and burned lanterns, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. So, major shout out and thank you to Josh, who watches the channel, and thanks, Bo. Really appreciate it. That was a good time. Had some good friends and good laughs, and we stayed up late. And of course, he shared some of his incredible collection with our English friends who came with us, and we all had a wonderful time. So, Sunday came, and we made that video at Crystal Lake and off the East Fork Road, which was fun. That was a big chunk of the day. And then when we got home, we were all tired, but I had to make that video, so I uploaded it for that channel for Sunday. And everyone was kind of piled out, just chilling. We weren't doing anything. So I thought I'd just take the opportunity and make that video and upload it right away. And I did. So my personal channel got sidestepped. Yes, it got pushed to the corner, the back burner for you. be gone. So on the Monday, after the dust settled from the weekend, after work and everything, and I uploaded it, and you've all seen it, I'm sure. The Pauls, the poor Pauls. As you just heard now, I was quite busy, so I've done nothing with the Pauls. And now I was going to do something with the Pauls, but it's raining. It's cold. That's not a day to strip a lantern. It has to be warm to really make that stuff effective. So if it gets warm and nice this weekend, then I will be stripping it. And I really want to do it. I'm tired of looking at that silver thing, and I want it gone. I want that paint off, and I want to see what's under it because I'm really curious, and I want to enjoy it. But anyways, I did mention another Paul's lantern I was looking at on eBay that had the proper globe for that. Well, suffices to say, I lost it. Yeah. There were other people that had the same idea as I did, and they were camping out, and I got comfortable and complacent, and I had a snipe bid because I knew I'd not be around to bid on it at the last minute. So I had a snipe bid on it, and it was clearly not enough because somebody else idiot. Somebody else won it. They knew what they were looking at, and the globe alone was worth that. So no Paul's globe for that lantern yet. But anyways, I want to strip it and get it down, see what I'm dealing with before I invest in a proper globe for it, because if it's terrible under there, why would I spend more money on a globe that doesn't deserve? Anyway. I think it's going to be fine, but we'll see. But what am I sharing today? Well, I'm burning my D-light. This top lip D-light. This thing is just... I love this thing. I don't think there's been a night that I haven't burned it. I like this. It's a really nice piece. I'm very happy with it. And it's going nowhere, nowhere, nowhere. No. Very kind of on the damp side out here because of all the rain that we've had since last night. And I should let this stuff dry out just a touch more, but oh well. So what are we dealing with? What am I sharing today? Well, it's not this. I mean, I'm enjoying it out here with this pipe, and it is nice. I will say this, but I am kind of worn out on the rain thing. I had plans to do things and go places and errands to run, and since I only have the 40 at my liberty, I don't want to take the 40 out in the wet weather because I don't have operational windshield wipers. It has the electric motor, which is stock to this car. Chrysler did offer an electric wiper motor for their deluxe models, such as the more expensive deluxe Dodge, and then the DeSoto and Chrysler. They offered the electric motors than the regular vacuum motors, but that needs to be restored and gone through. It's always one thing or another with these old cars. Hey, it's 83 years old. What do you want? So, yeah, if it dries up, if it clears up a little bit, I'm hoping it will. The forecast, as you could see, was cloudy, but it didn't have any rain in the forecast. But as you saw, it was clearly raining, even though the forecast was just for clouds. You know, they need to get together on this. You know, come on, Monrovia, you know what's going on. Someone's reporting it, I'm sure. Anyways, if it dries up, then I'll venture out and run some errands. But if not, then I do have a lantern to ship. John, if you're watching, I have not forgotten. I have a box ready to go. I just need it not to be raining right now to get to the post office. So patience. I will get it done this weekend. Absolutely 100%. I will ship out your lantern. And yeah, so awesome. So what am I sharing today? Ooh, ow. There's a sharp edge on the bumper of the car. I'm resting my hand on the bumper and it's... Ow. Anyway, so I got a birthday gift from my wonderful wife, and I was shown this by John Morris, And I said, ooh, I kind of like that. So we talked about a price and came to an agreement. And my wonderful wife decided to pick it up for me. And this is something I've been kind of wanting. Yeah. There's some history behind this, and I'll tell you what it is. But this lantern right here, you know, let's just bring this over here and make it stand up a little bit. There we go. Now you can see it full thing. This is a little wizard, streamlined little wizard, as you can clearly see. Why did I want it? You know, we've had this talk. I'm not crazy about streamlined lanterns or painted lanterns for that matter, but this one is a little more unique. It's a little more special. So, in 1940, for those Dietz enthusiasts, you know what 1940 meant, right? Now, Dietz, R.E. Dietz Company was founded when? Ha, that's right, 1840. So 1940 would be 100 years. Now that is a celebration. I mean, that is an anniversary to, you know, clearly observe and recognize. So what Dietz did is offer some anniversary lanterns. That's right, they did. They offered an anniversary or century line. So they had the Little Wizard, the D-Light, and the Monarch. I don't think they offered the Blizzard, but maybe they did. Maybe they did offer the Blizzard in this scheme. But they offered, I think, 3 or 4 lanterns out of their lineup painted gold and blue. That's right, gold and blue. This is original paint. This is not a repaint. This is original. That's right. And it's actually pretty good. It's actually not bad. Yeah. You can tell that it was used and enjoyed quite a bit because up here on the chimney is very dark. The crown's very dark and aged. The globe in it, it came with no globe, but I had just a plain, clear, unmarked globe, and I will be finding the proper Little Wizard marked globe for this with the lock knobs. I just got to figure out what style was proper for this because there was a whole progression of Little Wizard marked globes that started in 1913, 1914, all the way through the 1950s. So I want to get the proper one for 1940. Imagine me want to have the correct globe for these things. It doesn't happen. Yeah, you know it does. Anyway, so with that being said, this is a really special piece. It's not ready to light yet. It has some burner issues. The burner is kind of stuck. So I don't know how bad it is. I will definitely be doing a little work on it, and it should pop out without too much trouble. The cap is not frozen, so the cap is removable. I mean, there is a wick in it. I don't know how long the wick is. If I could, you know, add fuel and find out, I could probably burn it, but I don't need to do that right now. But anyways, 1940 was a big year for Dietz because, well, as I said, 100 years. That's a big deal. So they painted these lanterns, and a lot of guys, a lot of people want to. They you know, kind of said, or for those who know what these are or were, this would be probably the first introduction of what we call Dietz blue. Dietz blue was a metallic blue, very similar in shade, but with a little more metallic flake in it. That came on the lanterns by the 1950s. So Dietz started painting most of their tubulars by actually in the early mid 40s on the offset of World War II. Then they stopped plating with tin as much, and they started painting their lanterns a machine gray, which was kind of a bluish gray color, like a battleship kind of, you know, color. Or they call it machine gray because it was what a lot of, you know, machines were painted in factories and everything, and, you know, like lathes and other machinery that you would use in manufacturing. Anyways, machine gray was the order. And then after World War II, they continued with the machine gray. If you look up the video of the early high-low that I had, the 1947 high-low, was it 46 or 47? I forget. It was 46, and it was painted machine gray, and it was like mint condition. It was brand new. I don't think it was ever fired. This thing was perfect. I've since sold it, but Yeah, it's that's machine gray. It's kind of a bluish gray color. Anyhow, that gave way to a kind of a forest green color, which is actually kind of hard to find. They only did it for a couple of years, and then that evolved to the Dietz blue, and it was kind of a bluish green color, and then it slowly became closer to this. And by the 50s, 60s, that's all they were painting their lanterns was Dietz blue. There were some lanterns that did not get painted Dietz blue, but not many. I think the Acme Inspector wasn't painted. I want to say, you know what? I've seen them painted that bluish green, forest green color by the late 40s, early 50s. And I think they were painted the Dietz blue. They just painted everything Dietz blue by that point. I guess you could order them in bare tin as well. But Dietz blue was the standard. It was. And it's a pretty color. I mean, it's a nice shade of blue. It really is. There's nothing wrong with it. This is definitely not metallic. It's kind of more of just an enamel. Doesn't really have any flake in it. It's just a nice, rich blue color. I like it. It's very handsome. And with the gold and blue, it reminds me of my years as a Cub Scout, blue and gold dinners. Yeah, But yeah, this is it's a nice lantern. And I have another early Little Wizard. It's from 1937, so it has it's lacking the step in the fount, but it's marked 1940, and that's the same year as the car. A lot of other things from the late 30s, early 40s that really seem to. This fits into that little interest of mine. Yeah, but it's a cool piece, and it's neat to have an anniversary lantern. So for those of you guys out there that aren't aware of these, I had a friend ask me, "Oh, did they make them in any other colors?" No. The anniversary century lanterns were only this kind of muted gold color with blue. That's it. Not yellow and blue, not red and blue, not silver and blue, nothing. And if you find examples like this that are silver and blue or marked with different colors, then they were definitely used by a road construction crew or painted individually for individual tastes, or whatever, contractors, So, yeah. But the cool thing about this is they were still doing the bail through the air tube, and it's got the little flattened tabs on the inside of the air tube to anchor the bail, and the bail is still shaped like the earlier late 30s bales, which they eventually went back to. They did. A lot of the 50s bales and post 50s 60s bales were shaped just like this, but yeah, this is a cool piece. I will get the proper globe for it eventually. Yeah, sooner than later, I'm sure. I mean, I do have a clear Little Wizard globe up there, but it belongs to my my brass fount Little Wizard from 1922. But the Little Wizards are cool. I mean, I missed out on one of these in a couple months ago. It was late last year, I think. I missed out. I didn't bid enough. I wish I got it because it was really nice, actually. And then there was recently a Dietz D-Light that was painted just like this. It was an anniversary century model, and I missed out on that too by a couple bucks. So they are collectible. The Dietz guys know what they are. So, and even guys that don't buy streamlined lanterns, they will pick one of these up because of what it represents. It was 100 years of manufacturing lighting. Because Dietz originally was just making indoor lamps and whatnot, whale oil lamps and whatnot. So, I don't think they were making many outdoor lamps. Were they? I don't know. I can't say. I'm not very up on my Dietz history for the first several decades. I know by the 1870s, they were, patenting, or actually the 60s. I take that back. It was the 60s. 1860s, Dietz patented a tubular lantern. And if anyone finds one of those, well, you know what you have, and you know what it's worth, and you probably pay dearly for it. Anyways, I've seen those go for $5,000-$6,000. Yeah, they're not common. makes sense. There's also, well, the 70s, they were kind of cranking them out. They were definitely making, but they had no filler spout, and they were very bare bones. And they had the spring top. Everyone likes a spring top lantern. But anyways, they're cool, But yeah, Dietz really started with the tubular stuff in the late 60s through the 70s, and all the way till just recently. I think they're still making lanterns in China. I'm not sure, but anyways, yeah. So this thing represents 100 years of Dietz. Some people have asked, like, oh, is Dietz the best? Well, they're pretty good. I'll say it like this. I would liken it to maybe the car culture, where you have camps that really like Fords and really like Chevys, Everybody likes certain things because they are familiar with it, or their dad had something like that, and it was just something that they just stuck with because their family just bought one thing and they stuck with it, and they felt, well, that must be the best. Well, Dietz are good. They're not bad. They're very successful because they bought out every lantern company there was, along with Embury, and then eventually Embury was consumed by Dietz in the mid-50s. So, I mean, that can answer that question, that they were the best because they were very successful. They had a good design, and they burned very well. As you can see, this top lift D light is burning perfectly still. I don't have it cranked up very high, but it burns very still. It's a perfect performer. Emburys are great as well because, well, they built them very sturdy. They're heavier than a Dietz. They are. For those who have, like, Emburys from this period, from the 30s, 40s, golly, you could clock someone over the head with one of them and put them out for days. No joke. They are solid. But, I mean, at that time, we're talking about an era where quality was the stiff competition. If you made something less quality, you were not going to sell your items because the consumers at that time they absolutely valued their dollar. They valued their dollar. That's better. Sometimes I choke on my words. Anyways, people did not just, throw money around. Well, it was the Depression. Think about it. The Depression. Every dollar mattered. Every dollar mattered, and people were not interested in buying something crummy, wasting their money. People worked very hard for their money back in those days. Yeah, people do still today. But we've just become very complacent with shoddy craftsmanship and planned obsolescence. Yeah. I'm hoping that would change. I hope to see that change because, well, I think people are getting tired of buying major appliances and having them flake in a matter of years. Yeah. Anyways, don't get me started. Well, yeah, I started myself. But that's why I like antiques. I like this old stuff because it's still around. You can fix it up. You can even enjoy it mostly as is. Yeah, there's a lot of things that can be just enjoyed the way it is without much fussing. Yeah, I've got several lanterns that I just added fuel in a match, and they still burn just fine. There's those occasions you do find something that needs absolutely nothing. Yeah, anyways, I like my old stuff, and I know most of you do too. So, yeah, we're going to relight this thing here. Likes to go out. Anyway, it's a nice day aside from the rain. I think it is taking a little bit of a break right now, so I might be able to motor out to the store and get the things I need and motor right back and, get to the kitchen. Yeah, because I'm hungry. I could use some food. And I love cooking on a rainy day. On a gray, cold, rainy day. It's nice. It is. Yeah, it really is. Well, so we got an anniversary lantern finally. and I'm excited. I will definitely, of course, do a revisit video once I get the proper globe for it, and I get it cleaned up just a little bit. I'm not going to touch the paint. It's staying, but I'm just going to try and get the burner unfrozen and clean it up and get it all back together, and she'll be off to the races. So, yeah, she'll be a fun one to enjoy occasionally. I'm not going to burn it a lot, but it's just neat to have one. I'll probably hang it up there next to my other early little Wizard from 1937. Yeah. And, there are some guys out there that have all of the examples of the Century line. I think it was the Little Wizard, D-Light, and Monarch. I want to say they did a Blizzard. I'm not sure, though. I'll have to ask one of the experts. So, yeah. Like I said, they're not really well known. People, for the most part, don't know that they did this. So, I put it out there. Okay, guys? I know I've beaten this dead horse. I know I've beaten this pretty bad. But if you find a lantern with old paint on it, and I've said this before, it's up to you, but I've converted, okay? I don't like stripping lanterns with old paint for the most part, okay? If it's been applied within the last 20, 30 years, game on. But anything old from the 30s, 40s, I leave it alone. I do. I do. I really gain appreciation for it. And now, this is my plea. This is my plea. If you find something like this that has this warm amber aged gold look with a blue fount, only Dietz, only streamlined Dietz, nothing else. Nothing else. If it's a Little Wizard, a D-Light, a Monarch, or possibly a Blizzard, don't strip it. Whatever you do, don't strip it. Because even though if you paint it back the same way, it's not going to be the same. No, it's not going to be the same. Even if the paint is deteriorating and it looks, and maybe you're, in your opinion, lousy, don't do it, because these are collectible as is, because they were this is the early Dietz paint. I mean, you can't chip it off and sell the paint chip, it's only valuable on the lantern. But that sounds stupid, doesn't it? Anyways, who would do that? Tangents. So in this case, this is a very fine example, and thank you, Mr. John Morris, for selling this lantern to my wife, and I'm really excited to have it. And I'm not going to do anything cleaning up wise except for just freeing up the burner and getting it in operational order. But these are really quite special because, well, it signifies something about the Dietz history. So, yeah, keep your eyes peeled. I know you guys are probably going to be looking for one now who wants one, and that's fine. I got one now, so go have at it. But anyways, yeah. Fun stuff, fun history. It's neat that the company actually did anniversaries. I've seen some not catalogs, but calendars where they've done one for their 75 anniversary back in the 19-teens. And they did, honor their anniversaries. They did make a note of it, and they did special things to commemorate these anniversaries. They didn't really paint any lanterns specially except for 1940 to my understanding. I think in the 19-teens they tried to launch the D-Light. The wide-mouth squat globe lanterns like the Little Wizard or the D-Light. That's when these kind of came out, was right around 1910, 1911. 1912 actually, and that was right around their 75th anniversary. So they tried to launch some new lanterns and get a fresh look for that year for their anniversary, and that's really neat. Companies used to do that kind of thing. Yeah. But anyways, ooh, that's right. It's on the can. Anyway, so this is a fun piece, and I'm going to be enjoying doing some mild, little work on it. I already wiped it down with some WD-40 just to get the dust off, and it looks perfect the way it is. So I'm not going to polish it. I'm not going to do anything more to it except for just unlocking that, unfreezing that burner. So with that being said, thanks again for your subscriptions. Thanks for continuing to watch the channel. And we'll be coming at you next week. Well, with an update. Maybe the pawls will finally get stripped. Hopefully. I want to do that this weekend. I want to get that paint off of it. And maybe we'll get the burner unfrozen on this sooner than later. We'll see what kind of time I have this weekend, because I know that I have kind of a full dance card, so we'll see what happens. And of course, we'll have a channel update for the Mr. and Mrs. Smith channel, and we'll have new content for that. And we'll be seeing you guys very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.